I was always into dance and movement. So I was a gymnast, and then I was a ballet dancer. I went to the Dominican Republic on a vacation once, and I was just fell in love with the music and the culture and the food and the people. And when I came back to Toronto, I started learning how to dance salsa. And then many years later, maybe 5, 6 years later, I opened Steps Dance Studio. I went to my first Salsa Congress in Washington in 1999. And David Melendez, who I met at that first Washington Congress, he became a friend of mine and a mentor. He was the first one to run the New York Salsa Congress. And he kept asking me to do an event in Canada, in Toronto, and I kept saying nope. And I knew I didn't want to run one at that time because I really just wanted to have fun. I wanted to go to the congresses and learn and take classes and dance and social dance and see bands and party. And a couple of years later, I finally one day just said yes. You know, a few of the people that were judging and that were part of it, they had done virtual competitions previously. So they gave me a lot of feedback. They gave me advice. They shared a lot of the things that worked for them and didn't work for them. For me, I was also one of the judges, and where I'm living right now, the internet is not the greatest. So I had to literally go to another city for the weekend and stay in a hotel and pay for a hotel just so that I could make sure that I had good internet while I was judging with all the other judges, because I didn't want to be responsible for slowing them down. It's easier for the judges because they can do it from their homes. They don't need to travel. They don't need to take time away from their classes or from their families. They can just be in their home and they can judge. For the competitors too, imagine when you compete live, when you compete in person, you have one shot. If you make a mistake, that's it. You don't get another chance. Whereas here, because they recorded their video and they submitted it, they could record their video a few times and choose the best one. We had people from 12 different countries participate. So depending what country you live in, dance studios have been closed for 9 months, 12 months. So they didn't all have a chance to work with a coach. They didn't all have a chance to take classes every week. That weekend, during those 2 or 3 hours when we aired it each night, I felt like I was with my people again, my tribe. Salsa competition, I think, is really beautiful because obviously it's a competition, but it's not, the dancers, they all help each other. The dancers are always encouraging each other. And you could see that night because different competitors would comment on other competitors and say, great job. Oh my God, I love that routine. And it was family. It was connection. There is nothing I want more than to have a Congress this year, but I don't know 100% yet. So I will decide with the hotel probably by middle or end of June. We will 100% have a virtual competition. And if possible, I would love to have a hybrid, so a virtual and in-person competition. So at least the Canadians can come and compete live. And we also have a different competition right now that's on. It's a choreography contest. So I had a group of very famous Latin musicians that created a song for the Congress last year. And they created a song for the trailer, and it's this great salsa song. So now we're doing a contest where people can create the best choreography to that song, and they can submit it. So they have until the end of June, and we'll choose the best routine, and they're going to open the show for the next in-person Congress on the Saturday night. Okay. And they all get free Congress passes. I think they should buy the best shoe they can afford. I think if it's, a difference of $20, pay the extra $20 because it's going to make a difference in the long run. I think the shoe should be comfortable from the moment you put it on. When I buy my dance shoes, sometimes at the Congress, the vendors are there and I buy a pair of dance shoes and I wear them that night. I think a lot of my students, they want to buy their first shoe, they want to buy black. And I always encourage them to buy a nude or a beige or a gold shoe because I feel like it lengthens the line of your leg. It looks better. It goes with more things. If they are buying online, some of the sites, you can actually really measure your foot so that you know what is your right size. I would also suggest, when you go to try to go like at a Congress, it's great because you can actually try them on. So once you buy one from iLoveDanceShoes, then okay, this size fits me, and then you can buy them online much more easily whenever you want a different color or your shoes run out. A lot of beginner dancers, they buy like the 3.5-inch sexy heel. And I think as a beginner dancer, 3.5 inches is too high. I always suggest that they buy a 2-inch heel max so that they get used to dancing in heels. They get used to spinning in heels. My final thing is I always tell my students and my team members, if you're going to an event, if you're going to a 4-day Congress, you have to have more than one pair of shoes. You cannot wear the same pair of shoes all day and all night. You can't wear the same pair of shoes on stage that you wear in a workshop. And even for me, if I'm just dancing every night, just socially, like 4 nights in a row at a Congress, I always bring at least 2 pairs of shoes because I alternate them. I think to remember, somebody said this to me, a dance teacher said this to me in the very beginning, that dance has been around since humanity was on this planet. So every civilization in all of history has danced. And we need to remember that it can't be taken away from us. It can't be mandated away from us, that we need to dance. We need to connect. We need to move our bodies. And so whether that's going to be in your house or it's going to be online or it's going to be in person or it's going to be outdoors, keep dancing because it will actually make you feel better. It will always make you feel better. The salsa community has taken one of the hardest hits out of every sector of the economy because it's partner dancing. And so I think a lot of the people really need to understand how hard it's been for the dance studios and the event organizers. If you can afford to take classes, or you can afford to support a studio, or you can afford to take a private, whether it's virtual or in person, or you can afford to keep a membership going, just do it. So that way that your dance teacher will still have a profession and your studio will still be open.